Today we are on our fourth live stream on this free ArchiCad online course, where we'll be looking at how we can edit the slab, how we insert the slab, how we edit it, how we also edit the arches, and finally how we edit the roof work in order to be able to attain different roof work, different types of roof work on a floor plan. Therefore, I want to welcome you. This is live stream direct from Technical Training Channel. I want to welcome you. Be with me in this session so that we also build up on whatever we've started from our previous 3 sessions, where we looked at the introductory part of the ArchiCad and then we started drafting with ArchiCad. Today we are on our 4th session. I wish to welcome you. If you've not been able to watch my past sessions, I want to welcome you in our live stream section and also in our playlist. You can watch whatever you've done before so that you catch up with us on this free online ArchiCad course. Having said that, if you are not again one of my subscribers, I wish to welcome you. Kindly subscribe so that anytime we've planned a session, anytime we've scheduled for a session, we'll always be the first one to know. Otherwise, well, so there we are. I've shared my screen with you. I hope you can see the floor plan that we are working on today. I wish to invite you so that we look at a number of things, just as we said before when we were starting. We'll be looking at how we insert slab on the floor plan, how we edit it, and again how we edit the arches and how we edit the roof work. So for us, this is the floor plan that we'll be working on. Actually, it's a continuation of what we did last time. So this is the far that we had gone, and therefore we will begin from this point going forward. And for us to be able to insert slab on a floor plan, we basically go to the toolbox, to the toolbox, just as we've been doing from our previous sessions. And from the toolbox, we will look at design. Under design, we'll go and select slab and then open settings for the slab. Definitely our slab, we want it to be of a thickness 150 millimeter thickness, and again it should start at 0 level, not minus 150, because if we specify minus 150, therefore it will be below our walling by a distance of 150 millimeters. So it should start from 0 level, and then it has a height of a thickness of 150 millimeters. The other model issues, the type of finishes, we look at them later on when we'll be doing our detailed drafting in our second sample or in our second example. This is just to take us through the whole process, the minimum settings that we are able to do, and then later on we will do a detailed one that we are able to specify within the various fields. So for this time, we just deal with those minimal settings, and then we just press OK, and then we can see our cursor is already engaged with slab. And therefore, for us to be able to insert slab, there are quite a number of geometry methods that we can pick from our information box. The first one is what we call the polygonal method. The second one is the rectangular method, and then we have the rotated rectangular method. So the polygonal method will allow you to insert the slab from one point to the other, from one corner of the slab of the floor plan to the other. So you can step all over the floor plan on all the corners of the floor plan as defined by the design. So once you are back from the starting point, then you are sure that the slab is already fixed within the floor plan. From the point you started stepping all the way through the corners, then you reach back to the last point where you started, then the slab connects and it is filled within the floor plan. So that is one way we can do that. The other way is to use the rectangular method. If we have a rectangular floor plan, we can use the rectangle method, and this one you just select it, activate that button, and then you just click it from let me pick the slab again. It's under rectangular method, so you just click on that corner, and then you can spread the slab over the area that we want to insert the slab on. And you can see, because it's rectangular method, so it will just give us a rectangular way of inserting the slab. We can see from this point from our design, we do not need a slab at this point, so we can just deduct it. How do we do that? We just select the slab that we want to deduct from, then we click on its edge. We click on its edge, and we have this pop-up box that gives us more information about the slab on what we want to do. You can see that if we want to insert a node, so we can pick the first one. If we want to a curved edge, we can pick the second one. If we want a curved edge, if we want a curved edge that you are using, edit using segment. If we want to offset the edge, we can offset the edge by clicking offset edge. But for now, we want to deduct this slab at this point, so we'll just select subtract from polygon, and then we'll come and click that point, and then spread our cursor to the point that we want to deduct our polygon, and there we are, we've deducted our polygon. The third method that we can use to insert slab is the rotated rectangle, and this is useful when you have a plan that has a shape which is rotated. So if it's rotated at an angle, you can pick the point and then the other point, and then you can insert it depending on the angle of the floor plan. But for us, our floor plan is just a rectangular one, so we can't use the rotated method. So just select that, right click, and delete. So we've done the slab. We've seen how we deduct. Assuming we had a semicircular wall at this point, maybe we can try and convert this wall to be a semicircular one. So I'll just select this wall, then I will just click on the center line of this wall, and then I'll use the curved edge from my pop-up box here, and then I will just curve it in that direction. I'll just keep the distance, and then I have a circular, semicircular shape at that point. So if I wanted to put or to extend my slab to this semicircular one, so I'll just select the slab and then click on its edge, and then I'll come and just pick a curved edge, and then I'll enter up to that point, and the slab will be extended up to that point. So in case I wanted to deduct, just as we've done with this part, I'll just select the slab, click on the edge, and select deduct. And just click on one edge, then select deduct, and then deduct the area that you wanted to deduct. But for now, we don't want to deduct anything, so I'll just cancel out. So that's how we edit the slab, and you actually even check from the 3D point of view. You'll notice that we can do that by use of marquee. So I've picked marquee, and the other time we said we have two types of marquee. So I picked the bold one, then I will just surround my floor plan, and then I will right click and select pick or choose show selection marquee in 3D, and then I will have my floor plan in 3 dimensions. If I want to rotate it, I will use the orbit icon. I'll pick that orbit, and then now I can be able to rotate it, and you can see that our floor plan now has a slab. Even from the bottom, you can see it has a slab. Even from the top, we are able to see that the floor plan has a slab. So therefore, we proceed and see now how we edit the arches. How we edit the arches. So again, will allow me to return this wall to a rectangular shape from the original shape. So I just click again on that point, and then I'll just do away with the circular shape and just pick that insert node. It will still give me a straight wall, and then I will deduct this part. Maybe for more practice even, I'll just click on the edge of the slab, pick deduct, and then I'll just pick from that point, up to that point, and then that slab will be deducted from the slab. So let's see how we, that's all about the slab, deducting, inserting, and the rest. In case you want it to be at an upper level, you will see that later, but you just specify the height. You just go back to the settings and specify the height now from 0, and then maybe if you want it to be on the first floor, that you put 2700, but we have to include the thickness of the slab, so therefore it will be 2850. But you will see that when you will be doing a multi-story building. Then from our, basically we are dealing with this floor plan, and we are just drafting this floor plan and trying to construct a floor plan that is of this nature. And therefore, as we address the arches, we want to, last time we inserted the arches, but now we want to see how we edit the arches, how we edit even the walls in relationship to the column that, assuming that maybe the arches are resting on a column. So that's what we want to do and see how we edit that. So at this point, we can see we have a column. So we need to insert a column at that point. So just come to the column, to the toolbox, pick column, and then do the settings for the column. For this time, this sake, I want around column 200 millimeters thick. I think that is okay with me. 200 millimeters thick. The column is 27, has a height of 2700 millimeters. But remember, our walling has a height of 2700 millimeters, and therefore we will reduce our column a little bit. We know our windows are terminating, our openings are terminating at 2400, and therefore even our arches will also terminate at 2400. So therefore I will still reduce my column a little bit to about 2000, so that I have a 400 millimeter resolution for the arches, and we will see. So my column will be 2000. So therefore from 2000, then the arch will start from 2000, and we will span. We will have a height or a resolution of 400. But you'll see that how that comes out. For now, we needed to set the thickness of the diameter of the pillar, because it's around pillar, and then the height. Therefore, and then I will just come at this point. Remember, our wall construction, we used the center line. So therefore, it is very easy for me to just pick the center and insert the column at that point. And therefore I am sure that it is now centralized using the center reference line of the walls. And you can pick this part. We can just pick this part using our marquee, and then we display the selection in marquee. We can see that this wall, the column is inbuilt within the wall, because the walls are starting from the slab level. They are starting from the slab level, but we can want to edit these walls so that they start or they rest on the column, and then we have a resolution of the arches beginning from the top of the arch. Basically, we said not the top of the pillar, that is. Basically, we said that if you were to pick the pillar, we said that the pillar has a height of 2,000. It has a height of 2,000. So therefore, we need our walls to start at 2,000. We need our walls to start at 2,000 and end at 2,700. It will be 2,000 for the column and then 700 for the wall, and that will give us a total of 2,700. So therefore, what we will do, we will start with the arches. We will start adjusting the arches. We can see this arch from our settings here. It has a height of 2,000. It has a range. It is 2,000 wide, and a height of 2,400. So for us, we want the arch. We want to be left with an arch that has a resolution of 400, so that when it rests on this column, it will go up to 2,400 where our beams are starting, and that will define our arch. So therefore, what we will do, we will reduce this arch by 2,000, so that we are left with only an arch that is 400, that has a resolution of 400. And because in ArchiCad we do not have the option of reducing this arch actually to 400, what we will do is we will insert negative 2,000 on the seal to base wall, on the seal to wall base, so that it gives us an arch that has only a resolution of 400. And then we will select this wall and adjust its base, adjust its level, the level of the base of the wall to 2,000, so that it will start from the column. So we will insert that as 2,000, and then we will ensure that the height of the wall is at a height of 700, so that it gives us a height of 2,700 inclusive of the column. So I will repeat the same. I will repeat the same process on the other arch, so that we are able to understand, we are able to grasp whatever we've done with this bit. Remember, our objective is to ensure that our arches starts from where the column ends, and therefore we've said we will start with the arch. We will adjust the resolution of the arch. Instead of 24, we have 400, and because we have a height of 24, therefore our seal wall base, we will insert minus 2,000, so that we are left with 400. We are left with a resolution of 200, and then we will select the wall. And then we will adjust its base to 2,000, and again we adjust the height to 700, and therefore it will give us that type of an arch which starts where the column ends. So if you were to go back and maybe now pick the whole design using our marquee, then we will pick our marquee, right click on an empty space and choose show selection marquee in 3D, and then we will see we have that type of an arch that is resting on top of a pillar or a column. So that's how we edit arches. But again, if it's not the arch is not resting on a pillar, then we just maintain the whole opening as an arch, just as we had done last time. So that is about the arches. So now we can move on and look at how we edit roof work. edit roof to achieve different types of roof at different points within our design. So I will again use the navigator, ground level, double click so that I go to ground level. And again, I will remove my marquee so that I'm able to insert the roof. So again, from this design, maybe using this design, I can demonstrate what we want to do. Again, use marquee, show marquee 3D. So we want to create a roof of this nature. We want to insert a roof of this nature on the floor plan that we have. So this is what we want. We want again to see how we can create these. We can create these decorations on the rooftop. We'll also see how we can create gables, a combination of a gable and a hipped roof, because that is exactly what we want also to do. So I go back to the floor plan, and since I already have a floor plan existing here, just as even a recap of what we did before, we said if we want to use to put roof work on this drawing, we don't have to go back to the roof, do the settings and the rest, but we can pick the parameters from the existing design or from the existing work that has been done. So we'll just press Alt so that I have my cursor turns to pick parameter tool, and then I'll pick parameters of this wall. And if you now open the settings, you can see I already have picked the parameters for this roof, and they are already set and I'm able to use them. The angle is set, the height is set, and everything is as per the design, the roof for this design is. So I'm comfortable with that. We'll just use that. Again, at this point, we will use what we call geometry method mode print, so that we are able to insert this roof on this floor. And we will use again what we call the complex roof. We also have another one that is rectangular. We also have the rotated rectangular, but we just want to use the complex roof construction method so that we can insert the roof from one point to the other, or from one corner to the other. So I'll just expand my drawing a little bit so that I am able to pick the corners correctly, and I will pick all the corners. Remember, if you do not pick the corner correctly, you have to start again from the beginning. So it's important that you just expand your drawing so that you are able to pick your corners as they are from the design. And there we are. We have already inserted our roof on the roof plan, on the floor plan, and therefore we are able now to proceed and be able to edit this roof. You can see this roof is grouped. Once you click one part of the roof, the whole roof is selected. This roof is grouped, so we need to ungroup it so that we are able to edit it. Because when it's grouped, it's not possible to edit. So what we will do is that we will select that wall, and then we will right click. Then we will split into single plane roof. We'll split into single plane roof, and then we will just confirm and say split anyway, and that way our roof is split into different panels or into different shells. So what we need now is just to suspend the grouping. Because we've split it, we just suspend the grouping using this icon here. Suspend groups, we just activate that icon, and then you can see we are able to select our roof from one part to the other. So we can now edit our roof using the different parts, because we are able now to select them individually from one roof part to the other. So assuming we wanted to create a gable at this point, maybe I can just change the display order for the roof so that it's visible. So display order, we just bring it to front so that you're able to, it's not hidden by the furnitures. There we are. So we want to create a gable at this point. So if we want to create a gable at this point, what we will do is that we will completely remove this part because this is a hip. We'll completely remove this part, and maybe we can see how it looks like in 3D, so that once we edit, we will see the difference. Again, use the marquee, show marquee in 3D. Again, you can fit in the window. If you find that your piecework is not visible within the workspace, you can use the fit in window parameter and just put it there. So again, you can see we need to adjust the degree. It's a little bit high, so this is 45, so we can just adjust it maybe even to 30. And there we are. So you can see from this 3D, at this point everything is hipped. The whole roof that we've done is a hipped roof. It's a hipped roof at this point, at this point, at this point. So we want to create a gable at this part. We want to create a gable at this part so that we see how we can do that. So go back to the floor plan, remove the marquee, and for us now to achieve a gable at this part, again, if it's grouped, just suspend the group, and then we are left with the parts on individual basis. So we'll just delete this part of the roof, and then we will adjust the nodes for this part and this part so that they cover this part that we deleted the roof. So for us now to adjust this node, we just select that part, then click this node and then drag it, hold the shift down so that we maintain it on its normal path. Just hold the shift to maintain it in the normal path, and then we want it to be aligned with this point. So we just push the cursor, then we align it with that part, and we can see that now that roof has covered that part of the building. We do the same with this part. We select this part of the roof, then we pick that node, holding shift down, we bring it up to that point, or we can align using this other point, and therefore we have a gable at that point. Maybe again we can see it in 3D. You can see this part we've created a gable. You can see at this point we've created a gable. So if we created a gable, we can see due to the simply we used a hipped roof at this part, then you can see that at this point the walling again does not cover that part. So again we can still adjust the wall to cover this part. We can trim it, so we can just adjust it arbitrarily. So we can assume that at a height of maybe 4,000 it will have covered that part. That's true. We are able to see that we've covered that part. So what we need now is to trim that wall, and we trim using the roof. So what we do is to just select, again we deactivate the orbit by clicking back on the orbit, and then we can right click and crop to single plane roof. We crop because we've selected the wall, but we want to crop it using the roof. So just crop, and then just crop, and then you can see it will just crop along the roof or with reference to the roof, and therefore we can see we've created a gable at that point, and we've adjusted the wall to fit the gap that was left by the hip. So that is how we create a gable using or edit roof to create a gable at that point. Sometimes you find that there are decorations that I'll put within the roof. Like at this point, we want to put a decoration here, maybe another decoration here. So we'll just go back to our toolbox. At the document, we'll pick a guideline to just assist us and know the extent that we are putting our decoration. So I'll just do that arbitrarily, or maybe we can just put it from that corner. We can just define it from that corner, put a line at that point, and then we can drag that line, Control D, at a distance of maybe 1400. Shift radius 1400. Enter, so that the decoration we put here to be of the same size with the decoration that we put on this side. So again, we copy this wall, we drag a copy of this wall, Control Shift D, then we drag that copy to that point. Again, we drag it at 1400, shift radius 1400, enter, and then we are sure that maybe I can change the color of these two lines so that we are able to see and differentiate them. So this decoration here will be of the same magnitude to this decoration here. And for us now to put a weatherboard at this point, we will select this roof, this part of the roof. Then we will adjust this node and bring it to this point where the line is. And then we will pick this edge of the roof. We'll pick this edge of the roof and create a node. Create a node at that point. Remember, we are just adjusting this part. So we just create a node at that point. Again, we select this roof, pick this node, bring it to that point of the roof, and then we pick the edge again and create a node to return it to its normal path. So we can see we've adjusted this part and this part, so we are left with this part. So again, what we can do, we can use deduct again. We just select, click on the edge of the roof, pick deduct, and then we just click on the area that we want to deduct, and then you will find that our roof has been adjusted and we've deducted that part. Maybe you can again see how that part comes out in 3D. You can see that it has created us a weatherboard at that point. So we will do the same process on the other side so that you will not be able to grasp the concept properly when we are doing this. You can repeat that so that you are able to get it correctly. So remember, we want to create another weatherboard at this part. We want to adjust this roof and create a decoration at this point. So remember, we have three parts of the roof that are interacting within this part, and those are the parts that we will deal with. So we will start with this. We said we select that roof part, click that node using Shift, hold it down, and drag it up to that guideline. Then we pick this edge line, this edge of the roof. But you can see from our dialog box here, it is still under deduct. So we need to change that to insert new node, and then we can insert a node at that interaction. The interaction between the guideline and this roof edge, that's where we will return our edge. So we do the same with this roof part. Click that node, stretch it up to that point, and then click on that edge, then introduce a node at that point, and then finally we are left with this part. Again, we can just deduct this part of roof, then we have accomplished our objective. So we click on the edge of this roof part, then pick deduct, and then we will step over this triangle that we want to deduct from this roof. And there we are, we've deducted that part. Again, we can use our marquee and try to see how the 3D is coming out. And there we are, we have our weatherboard on this other part, and we have our weatherboard on this other part. So we've been able to see how we can create a decoration within the roof and that part. And we've also seen how we can create a gable at this part. So those are the few adjustment or editing that I wanted us to look at today, and editing roof. But of course, going forward, we'll be looking at different designs and seeing how we can edit different roof styles. And of course, once you are through with that, we need to delete the guidelines. Just select them and then click on empty space and delete, so that you are left with your roof as it's supposed to be. And then maybe finally, as we wind up, we can see how we can insert dimensions. So for us to be able to insert dimensions for this particular part, what we will do is that we will use what we call automatic dimensioning. So we'll go to document extras, automatic dimensioning. But before we do that, we need to select the floor plan or the walls that we want to dimension. So what we will do is use our marquee, because we have two floor plans in this area, but we want to dimension this one. So we will marquee it, and then we will activate the wall. We will just click on the wall, and then once the wall icon is active, we just press Ctrl A, and it will select all the walls that are within the marquee. And therefore we will just remove the marquee, so we are left with this plan, all the walls being selected. And then now we can go to document extra, automatic dimensioning, and then we pick exterior dimensioning. And therefore we have this dialog box, so we just ensure that the dimension structure, three options are checked, and then distance between dimension line 800 is okay. It could be 800, 1000 millimeters. And then we also check the box for press dimensions on 4 sides. Then we just press OK. And then we just choose one side, and then we click on our start point, and then we click the next point. Then we just click again, and we have our floor plan inserted with dimensions that are automatically. That's how we dimension a floor plan automatically. And with that, I wish to stop at that. Today, those are the things we wanted to look at. But again, we've also added something, and you've seen how we can dimension automatically. But today I just want to stop at that, and I want to thank you for being with me in this live stream session. Therefore, I wish to thank you very much for being with me, for being in this live stream. God bless you. Be a subscriber if you are not one of them. Support us so that we are able to reach many people. God bless you. Have a nice evening. Thank you.